Okay, so this is your week 2 webinar. Trying a pre-recorded webinar this time, so I'm just going to go through the things that you will find in this week. They're also outlined in some detail on the week 2 preview, which is posted in the announcements section of the class. Okay, so a couple of things I'm going to go over here to week 2 in our class. And you will notice in here that there is a week 2 learning activity, which doesn't really have any points associated in the gradebook, but it is pretty valuable. So there's a whole collection of 18 different video tutorials here that go over how to use Moodle. So this is pretty powerful. You're going to want to remember where this is. Now, there is the 1 hour and 26 minute and 54 second version of this, which is a full video tutorial, as you can see right here. And then there are also just specific tutorials that go over just specific things in the class. So you can approach this either way you want. You can watch the whole thing, popcorn, and put it on the big screen and do it that way. Or you can just look at it, look specifically at certain things in Moodle and how to accomplish those things. You'll want to remember where this is as you approach week 3, because week 3 is when we really start building our course within Moodle. So don't forget about this. You also have a couple of discussion boards for this week. So I'll go ahead and go to these right here. And there's a discussion board link. There are 2 discussion boards this week. Them is a little lighter than the other one, and that's the one that talks about synchronous conversations or synchronous learning in a class. This would be versus asynchronous discussions or learning where, something like our discussion boards, where we post a question and then students respond to the question and then respond to each other. That would be asynchronous. And then synchronous learning would be more of like our traditional live webinar, or obviously sitting in a classroom and having a discussion with the students. So you'll want to talk about to discuss the benefits and limitations of synchronous learning here. So you want to go over both, and then you'll also kind of want to be thinking about your Moodle course too, your upcoming Moodle course, and how this applies to your Moodle course. This one, if you would like to knock this out kind of while you're watching this video, you're welcome to go ahead and answer this question right here. I posted that in the week 2 preview as well. That question is in there. So if you want to post that in the YouTube comment section, you're welcome to do that, or you're welcome to post it in the class as well. It doesn't really matter to me. Some people just kind of like to do it as they're watching the pre-recorded webinar here right afterward. And then also, if you want to, you don't have to, but I'd love to get your opinion on what you think of pre-recorded webinars, sort of an asynchronous learning activity, versus live webinars, and what your preference is, what you think of that, especially since it goes so well with our discussion, the discussion board, one of the discussion boards for this week. The other discussion board is a discussion board that has a bit more detail on it and is worth 100 points in the grade book. And that's this one right here. And you'll want to go ahead and answer that within the online class. Quite a few things you get points for that. So you're going to want to make sure that you read each of these things. So you'll notice here that it does say that the discussion board is the primary assignment for week 2. So that's why it's a little more detailed. And you're going to want to post 3 activities, as it's here, 3 activities connected to your course objectives. You're going to want to have at least 1 absorbed activity, 1 do activity, and 1 connect activity. So you want to make sure you hit upon that. And then you want to make sure you just look at each of these sections here to make sure you don't lose any points there. All right, the last thing that you'll want to pay attention to here is the midterm. The midterm 21 questions and is worth 100 points. I'll go ahead and go to the midterm right here. So you can kind of get a sneak peek at it here. We go to week 2. And basically what you're going to do is click on there and you'll start to see those 21 questions. And you've got 4 hours, but from the looks of it, it looks like it may let you continue even after that 4 hours is up. So you want to go ahead and click right on week 2 midterm. And then as soon as you get to that, here's your some details on that you want to pay attention to, like it has a time limit of 4 hours. Okay. And then go ahead and click on begin. Now 4 hours does give you enough time to go ahead and as you're looking through the questions, if you don't know the question right off the top of your head, to go ahead and do a little bit of research. So you can do that. I'm going to go ahead and just show you the next one just to give you an idea. Most of the questions come from either reading that you've encountered or things that you can do within Moodle. So you'll want to notice over here on the right, or excuse me, on the left side, there is course resources. When you click on course resources, I'll go ahead and do that now. I kind of hate to do it because I just, oh, actually, let me just do that afterward because it's going to take me out of the midterm here. They don't quite want to do that yet. So you'll just notice like this first one is talking about things that you can do in Moodle, and you're just doing, you know, connecting, you know, what's the glossary, which one is it over here, things like that. And then you can save as you're going along, so you can continue later, or you can just do it all and go ahead and submit it all at one time. And then here's one that's about the reading, Colin Foster from that. So go ahead, take your time with that. If you have any issues with that, feel free to contact me and we can talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and go to the course resources right here. So course resources to show you something that might be good. I'm going to go ahead and say leave right there. I wouldn't do that until you say save. Of course, you want to, or as you're taking the midterm, you want to go ahead and click on save. But if you go into here, you'll go ahead and notice that there are some shared documents there, and there's even a one on the midterm, so it gives you some hints and some things that you might find in the midterm, so you can check that out before you go ahead and start the midterm. There's also the Using Moodle book here, which will have some information that you'll probably need for that. So you'll want to go ahead and check this area out as well. Okay, that about covers it. So good luck on this, and when we start building the course, you'd like to go ahead, excuse me, if you've got some time. It might not be bad to, might not be a bad idea to at least go just check that out too, so you can be ready for it when we start that week. All right, good luck. Thanks very much.